All right. Microphone?
Check.
Notes?
Check.
Laptop?
Check.
Going podcasting. There's a boat race down the river. There's a slow boat on my mind. Now everybody's going like crazy. I'm taking my own sweet time. I'll drift down the Big Shark River, take a boat ride along the bay, just trying to find a little peace of mind down in the Everglades. There ain't gonna be no hurry, there ain't gonna be no rush. It's just lazy style like a crocodile playing in the mangrove brush. I'll float on down the river, let the speedboat speed away. I'll drift around making gator sounds down in the Everglades. While the big crowd down the rivers are getting drunk on cigarette wine, I'm getting high watching eagles fly, having myself a time. Wet my whistle every now and then with a sip of blue Gatorade. Watch the sun go down and let the world go round, down in the Everglades. I'll drift around making gator sounds down in the Everglades.
Welcome to Wet Comedy Week.
3, 2, 1, go. Jump off a roof. Like, yeah.
So I have a question right off the bat. Were these comedies wet enough for you?
No. I didn't get wet one time.
Because when I see the sea, I swim the sea. I actually had that written down so I wouldn't forget to say it.
Good God. What a life.
This is the quality.
Yeah, this is 153 episodes in, and this is what we've gotten to.
So it's gone fishing.
Not only gone fishing, but the longest title I think I've ever seen in a fucking Bloody Shots episode. Beverly Hills Family Robinson.
Great title.
So
for a great movie. Or was it? You be the judge.
I felt like I should have been on something to watch these, man. Shit. So, I'm actually kind of surprised, and I don't know if this is... I don't even know if these polls are if somebody's fucking with me or not, because it's like...
You better be taking these polls deadly serious. If you're like, no
these
lying.
polls that I really just
system.
put out for interaction with our fans, which I love our fans. It's like 67% of people have not seen either one, but like, who's the 33% that have? Is what I want to know.
You're telling me someone's seen Beverly Hills Family
I think
Robinson?
something's fucked up with these polls.
No way.
Because
the
one on YouTube...
I'm sick of their lies.
It was probably you. You're like, I have seen it. You vote on everyone. That fuck up for the Instagram post that I posted where it was like what was it?
Gentleman Spy.
America's Playboy.
Yeah, America's Playboy.
And you were like, what?
Is it Gus?
Yeah, I was like, I fucked up. Could have been, what's his face? The dude from Family Robinson or whatever.
Do you know him?
I do now.
Call back.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that's a very surprising poll. I don't believe.
The one on YouTube was more believable. Like, we had some votes for yes for Gone Fishing, but like none for
Beverly Hills Family Robinson is like a forgotten film. Like, it's not even a real movie.
Forgotten film. I don't think it was even a remembered film.
Yeah.
Like, you're the only person I've ever heard of that's ever talked about it. So I guess it was forgotten then by somebody.
Yeah.
This is one of those like Disney Channel things that came out and just kind of came and went.
Yeah, like Wide World of Disney or Wonderful World of Disney or something. Like, was
it's
on TV
like
once and then gone
the
forever.
50th reinterpretation of the Swiss Family Robinson.
that was really popular and stuff.
Yeah.
But and they've done it a bunch of times. I mean, they even did one, I think, with Pierce Brosnan, right, at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've done a bunch of... It's kind of like Christmas Carol at this point. Like, there's just a bunch of different interpretations of it.
Yeah, it's funny. This week on Quentin Tarantino's podcast, he was
they talked about this.
He was talking about Swiss Family Robinson, like the Disney film from the 60s, and I was like, dude, get with the times. Beverly Hills Family Robinson is where it's at.
Where it's shat.
So, does it make you sad that we've now done as many Dyan Cannon movies as Thomas Ian Griffith movies on this podcast?
They're at the opposite ends of the spectrum for acting, in my opinion. I thought maybe first time it was just a fluke. Watching this, I'm like...
It's confirmed.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Things are not adding up here. I'm like, how does she keep getting work? What's going on here?
So, should we just get into...
Yeah.
Let's get Beverly Hills.
We've already kind of...
out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about this one, really.
I do.
When I pick these, like, curios, it's like... It always seems like a good idea until I'm actually watching it. And
it's like Matt Ripley's Believe It or Not over here. Do you believe this? Shit.
It wasn't very good. It was kind of forgettable.
I mean...
I had a few laughs, but it was kind of a chore to get through.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know, man. Like...
I'm sorry?
I don't like to, like, dunk on, like, specific people here, but, like... I feel like I have to kind of call Dyan Cannon out for this. Like, I don't know what the hell is going... Why she kept getting cast. Like, this is not good. Like... Because it's one thing where it's, like... You know, maybe the role you're playing is just shit, but, like, she's playing this is the exact same movie we watched.
I know.
She's playing a fucking TV host. And, except for in this one, like, instead of finding love, she gets, like, trapped on a, like, island with her family. And I'm like, are all her films like this? Like, she literally just plays, like, a squawking, like, lady?
Yeah,
like,
she's not done any favors because, like, the character she plays is deliberately annoying.
Dude,
so.
oh my god. And it's the same one she played in fucking the last movie. I'm like...
Christmas in Connecticut.
There's got to be, like, something else that... This has just got to be a bad coincidence that, like, two of the movies, the only two I've ever seen of her, where she's the main actress, it's like, holy shit, dude. Dude, when she's doing, like, her goofy shtick, it's, like, the worst shit of all time. But, like... And I think this is maybe more to do with what's his name, Mull or whatever. Martin Mull. I think this probably has to do with more with him than her. Possibly, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I'm just going off of the two I've seen. But like, there are scenes where they have actual like heart-to-hearts, and I'm like, okay, you know, this is holy shit. There's actual acting in this movie, and it's not just goofy shit. But like, I think that maybe has to do with him, like, pulling the scene up or something. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, there's a lot of weird stuff in this, like, there's stuff where, like, you know, she's playing her character from Christmas in Connecticut, and then, like...
You think it's the same character? Like, this is a sequel? Like, part of the Christmas in Connecticut
maybe
cinematic
things
universe?
Didn't work out with, like, Chris Christopherson or whatever, and she, like, ended up marrying Martin Mull or whatever. Because, I mean, I guess that makes sense because his wedding didn't work out in the football movie, so
that's true.
But like, they're like completely. She's being like a complete jerk. She's being a complete like bitch to like everybody that works for her. And then when they get to like behind closed doors, she's like, "I'm not blind. I see that our marriage needs work." And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? This is like literally she was reading this off the script, like. What the fuck were they thinking with this 180 turn here?
It's pretty sitcom level. Bad, just bad.
I mean, that's kind of an insult to sitcoms, honestly. This is shit. Also, I was kind of like shocked to see Sarah Michelle Gellar in this. This is before she made it big as like Buffy, it seems like, and stuff. Because you could definitely tell that like. You know, I mean, her character wasn't really anything other than the daughter, but she could at least act.
Yeah, she came out of this
wasn't like
unscathed.
Screaming like Dyan Cannon every 5 seconds. I'm like, also like, what's with the butt play in this and fucking, like, the end of fucking Gone Fishing? She gets fucking pinched by a crab in this. That
was hilarious.
And it's a complete, like, practical effect joke, but it's like, how big is that crab, for fuck's sake?
Spoiler alert, the crab was my favorite character in this movie.
You didn't like the, clearly we got Gilbert Gottfried to play this fucking parrot because he was in Aladdin?
Not really.
I actually love that character.
Oh, nice.
not in this, but it was like, I liked that character in the movies, but it's just so weird because that parrot starts off not sounding like Gilbert and it's just saying random shit. And then by the end of the film, it's like speaking fucking full like sentences, and I'm like, okay, they just gave up and said, can you come in here and finish this this parrot dialogue off? Yeah, this was like if you took Swiss Family Robinson and took like Home Alone 7 and mixed them together, because or like Three Ninjas 20, because this was like the bad guys are so bumbling that all three of them couldn't beat like one like guy to a gun. It was like 1 versus 3, and he got the gun, and I was like, okay, this is where we're going with this shit. I think the worst.
Did you like any of the villains?
I liked the big guy, the big like dude that was a fan of her show.
That was one slightly interesting touch to this movie.
I think
basically like Martha Stewart.
Yeah, the worst offense in this is when they have Dyan Cannon recreate the classic Dirty Harry line. That was like painful, because I thought, okay, maybe they're gonna do a little bit of it, but they do the whole thing, and I was like,
yeah, I was just
like, I was like, this was like me levels of vanity with the podcast where I'm doing fucking musicals and all kinds of shit, but like, I don't know, this was just not, this was not it.
No,
because when we do it for comedy, and that when they do it, it's like, that was not funny, dude. It was just trying to recreate it and not putting any spin on it, except for she was trying to kill a crab.
Yeah, she's like, die, you unholy beast.
Yeah,
and she actually shoots it, and I was like, well, R.I.P.
And then it just goes fucking flying.
The crab shows up again to save the day.
This fucking movie sucks, dude.
Yeah, it was, I'm sorry I picked it. I don't know what I was thinking.
You were banned from the Summerfest.
Martin Mull did give me one laugh, which I guarantee was a line that he improvised.
Martin Mull was awesome in this, but he was playing like the dad and stuff. I mean, none of these characters are super deep, but like he was great. I mean, he was a good actor. I'm not trying, I mean,
when he was talking in his sleep, did you catch that? It was a total throwaway moment. He was like, Novocaine.
Yeah.
I always loosen the buttons. Malpractice.
It's like, Jesus.
I was like, ha! And that was the highlight of this movie.
They had a dude that was straight out of Air, or like that one movie with Adam Sandler and Brendan Fraser, where they're
Airheads?
Like, that had like he was wearing headphones, but he could somehow hear like drums or whatever in the background, and then he took them off and he couldn't hear them, and I was just like, dude, is this where we're going? Like, what is this? Let's see if I have any other notes here, really. They have a dude that shows up that has he's playing an Australian, and he is going fucking insane with the Australian lingo.
Yeah, they pushed it like all the way to
Jesus!
9.95.
Why?
It was instantly annoying.
And of course, him and Sarah Michelle Gellar, become in love.
They have a nice romance.
Fake ass boar. That thing was kind of horrifying. I was like, Jesus, dude.
I like the house that they built, but that's kind of like the staple of the story. Is like they build a cool house.
This was very like kids movie, because it was like make shit out of nothing, essentially. Like they had 50 lights, and I was like, how the fuck did that happen?
And all their devices were like Rube Goldberg, like complexity. That was kind of cool.
They blew up and killed the fucking pirates at the end, and they lived. But I was like, Jesus, they committed a fucking murder.
I know, they went that far.
Yeah, I think my last note is really like, I feel like this movie had some heart when it was like between the dad, like when Martin Mull was like giving his like speeches and stuff or doing his thing, but when like essentially the only comedy was the shtick from like Dyan Cannon. It like killed it. So it's like they could have possibly made something out of this, but maybe if like Dyan Cannon had not done any comedy and just done as little as possible, they might have been able to fucking do something. At least it wouldn't have been as forgettable as it was, because this was like that other movie we watched with like freaking Ray Romano and what's his face, Gene
Welcome
Hackman,
to Mooseport.
where it was just kind of like the stuff was so predictable comedy wise, and the stuff in it wasn't really that funny. It was just kind of like,
yeah. I hate to say, but I don't really have much to say about it.
Nobody showed their ass
totally...
in this except for Dyan Cannon to that crab. They pinched her butt.
I thought that was fun. I got a little.
She's like, I got my ass pumped.
My last note is I like any movie that ends with a crab POV shot. So, great job.
Oh, so you're saying you love this film?
9.95.
Jesus, this is probably one of the worst things I've seen on this podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. We've seen worse.
Just because it's like,
it's just so bland and forgettable.
I think I'm just done with Dyan Cannon. I'll give her one more chance. 3 strikes and she's fucking out, bro.
We'll have to watch Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Okay.
One really good movie.
Because she
I've
fucking
seen her.
sucks.
You're taking her to task?
She needs to be taken to task. I can't believe she got fucking work after this. This is horrible.
Should we move on to... okay, what's your ranking?
Oh, we're gonna... yeah, because I guess it's technically a film.
Put that on the poster. Yeah. It's technically a film.
This should have been like, even the crabs are not laughing. I don't know. I wasn't really expecting to rank this, honestly.
Like blood starts coming out of your ears.
This is almost like not even worthy of a ranking. It's like maybe like a 4 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 5.95. It's just like doesn't come close to hitting the mark for me.
I need to go back and like reassess some of the older films we've ranked now. I'm like,
I need to reassess my life for picking like, Beverly Hills Family Robinson.
Some of the films that I gave like lower than a fucking 4 to, I need to be like, what the fuck was I smoking now? Or maybe I just need to lower the ranking of this. I mean, this was mainly just like, it was to a point where it was just like I could have erased it from my memory and it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I mean?
For sure. It's
like
as far as consequential movie
right, exactly. It's like Welcome to Mooseport, where I was just like, this is the blandest.
Yeah,
it's not actively pissing me off, but it's just like literally, it's like wasting my time. It's like, okay. So
speaking of wasting our time, should we get into the main event?
This movie was let's
Gone Fishin'.
So you'd seen this fucking shit before, right?
Oh yeah.
So why'd you see this movie?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Do you have like a fucking secret torture chamber you put yourself in or something?
I like wacky comedies. That's one thing, and they don't really make them.
Well, we haven't seen one yet on this podcast.
This was quite something.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That's funny. Gone Fishin'. I remember when it came out, I remember looking at the poster back in the theaters.
Yeah.
And how stupid it looked.
So this actually got a theatrical release.
Yeah. Since you brought it up.
Unlike...
this came out Memorial Day, 1997. Do you remember what you were doing that day?
Not watching this film. But other than that, I don't... What, you said 1997?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really go to the theater all that often. I was probably playing video games or something.
It's funny that you say that, because this day, we did go to the theater.
Who, me and you?
Yeah, to see Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the sequel.
Shit. I think I still have that poster at home.
Yeah, I still have the little popcorn bucket.
You're like, I know, because I put it on my calendar, and I've had that calendar forever.
Well, I looked up what was in theaters at the time, and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
And we specifically, me and you went?
Yeah, remember?
I think your mom was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think it was my family.
Yeah. My family!
And
it was my family.
Because I wanted to see what else was playing in theaters. And I thought I wrote it down.
Man, what if you had picked this? That would have been fun.
Well, I was going to say, we should have gone to see Gone Fishin' instead of Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
I know, right? So much better film.
But here's what was in theaters that day. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Addicted to Love, which I'm not sure what that even is.
Yeah.
Gone Fishin', Trial and Error, the one with Michael Richards. where he's a lawyer.
So far, not much competition for Jurassic
The
Park.
Fifth Element.
Oh, okay.
Breakdown.
I feel like when The Fifth Element came out, it kind of like I feel like that's one that kind of got really big on like cult classic style.
Mm-hmm. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, baby.
And Liar
Your
Liar.
parents didn't take us to see that.
we did see that in theaters.
Yeah.
So yeah, some decent choices in theaters that day.
You know what's funny is the only trailers I've really been so excited for, I was almost shedding tears, have been the Austin Powers films. How sad is that? Anytime
Wait a minute, you were so excited you were almost crying?
Yeah. So if there's an Austin Powers 4 that ever happens, that'll probably be my most hyped film. It's like an instant 9.95, even if it's like a black screen.
Bride of Mini-Me.
Oh my god. Corpse of Mini-Me, more like it.
Oh.
R.I.P. Vern. What do you... Hey, Vern? They should have done a movie with Ernest and Vern.
Yeah.
Troyer. But they're both dead, sadly. Gone too soon.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Rest in power.
But I don't know how to answer your question of why I picked this movie. Like, I wanted you to see it because
I actually appreciate that because I can't get mad. I mean, I'm never mad at movies that are picked, but it's like
also,
I don't need justification. I know
we were big time fans of Lethal Weapon movies.
Oh,
back
for
in the
sure,
days,
yeah.
And like,
I love Lethal Weapon.
You know, this is teamed up.
Speaking
the two
of which, I know Mel Gibson was saying that like before the dude passed away, he was like, "Fucking, I want you to."
Richard Donner?
Yeah, make the next Lethal Weapon. He's like, I'm making it. And I was like, huh.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, I guess we'll see about that. I mean, the only one of them that can really even do anything is Mel Gibson. But I guess that was kind of how it was back in the day anyway. It's not like Danny was fucking doing flips off roofs and shit. But yeah. I'm not really expecting Mel Gibson to do that. They kind of set it up for like the New Blood anyway. But by this point, Chris Rock is not the New Blood either. It's like... Yeah. Maybe it'll be their
great grandchildren.
Yeah, it'll be like what's it called, like Cobra Kai maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
Martin Coe will come in. It's not the new hot talent.
New kid in town.
He's like new kid in town. I'm like Jesus.
But since I knew what this movie was about, like basically, I wanted to talk about seeing two like really good actors like totally embarrassing themselves.
I think that's kind of our MO on this podcast. Some pretty great actors embarrassing themselves. I'm not talking about us,
but
I'm talking about like movies we've seen that was like, what the fuck happened here? Where it's like, on paper this should have worked, but
well, I wanted to read some trivia because did you look at the trivia by any chance?
No.
Okay, good, because you're gonna be shocked by some of the stuff. This was originally supposed to be John Candy and Rick Moranis, which would have been great, like so much better.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they are funnier than.
Yes,
but I don't think that.
I think that they could also maybe pull off the childish.
They probably could have also like added comedy stuff to it, but at the same time, like watching Joe Pesci and what's his name, Danny Glover are not unfunny. Like in the movies I've seen him in where they do comedy, it's pretty great. Like Home Alone, like Lethal Weapon, like when they do the comedy, it just hits. It's like great.
Yeah.
So it's not
Especially
like
Joe
I thought
Pesci,
that they would be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this could have also, you never know, this could have been like John Candy did it, and they tried as hard as they could, and it just ended up being like a under the fucking
middle of the road.
Well, it could have been like that movie with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, where Dan Aykroyd tried as hard as he could, and like the movie just turned out shit.
But like, I don't want to make it sound like I think these guys did a bad job. Like,
right?
They put a lot. You can tell they put a lot into this movie. It just wasn't like it was in service of one of the stupidest things.
Yeah, unlike the last thing that we watched, one of the actors was not actively fucking me over while I watched it.
They were both doing something huge.
Yes,
and it just didn't work out at all.
I mean, they were kind of playing their characters from Lethal Weapon to a degree, just more like kids.
Yeah,
like
I kind of got some.
I think more so Joe Pesci because he was kind of playing like Leo or whatever, Leon, but like.
I got some Laurel and Hardy vibes. Because they're very childlike characters.
If they got hit in the head and were fucking dead. Yeah, yeah.
Check this out.
Check this out!
You ready to get pissed?
Yeah, right now. Here. Okay. I can't wait.
Bob Hoskins was offered the role of the villain, but he passed because he didn't like the script.
Man, what a fucking save on that
I
one.
know, smart choice, dude. But that would have been so much better because the villain sucked in this movie. It was horrible.
I don't even know who that guy was. It was almost kind of like that guy was being played by like someone that was usually like a background actor or something. Like,
not good.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, no offense to the dude. I'm sure he's great, but like if you had someone like Bob Hoskins play the villain, like, that would have
actually brought
something. Yeah, you would have actually,
because this is the blandest of
bland, right?
Like, it's a nothing character. So
there's also like many times where this almost treads into like kid movie territory where like he doesn't kill them, he lets them go, and I'm like, dude, whenever that shit happens in a film, I'm like, why? Not like I want them to blow their fucking heads off, but it's like it logically makes no sense. You know what I mean? It's like, I can only suspend my disbelief so much in a film before I start being like, okay, you guys are just fucking with me here.
But I mean, overall, I really like this movie. Like, it was really a blast to watch it. I laughed quite a bit. I'm not proud of it, but
I think the last 38 minutes were the only funny parts in this film for me. But
you weren't. I thought it was really funny that their kids got their asses beat by other bullies because they were trying to defend their dads.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you actually found this a lot funnier than I did.
I find this movie to be highly watchable.
Like, I only thought the last 38 minutes were worth watching.
I like how those so specific to 38.
Well, it's because they only had like 4 jokes in the whole movie, and they all happened in the last 38 minutes. And I have them written down.
Spectacular.
It was something. So yeah, it's this movie's weird because they have like child actors in the beginning that play them, and it's like the one that plays Joe is fucking horrible in my opinion. I thought it was like crap. I was like, oh my god. At least his line delivery was a little like, it's like, you don't want to try that again. Like they literally just were like, one take.
That's the best we're gonna get.
Okay. But yeah, they fucking blow some shit up and knock out all the power at the beginning of this film, and it's like, it's kind of established that, like, I thought, you think maybe that's just an accident, but like throughout the film, it's literally like they're like Mr. Magoo's. Or
they lead a trail of destruction.
Where it's like, it's just their daily lives are like that kind of shit just happens, where it's just like a complete like it's almost like a superpower or something, where it's like it just happens, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Which is so weird because it's not like it's just accident. It's like it's just wherever they go, shit happens, and it's like I don't know. It was just, I was enthralled by it. I was like, what the fuck?
I enjoyed like a lot of the destruction and the action in this movie. I thought was highly entertaining.
There you have it.
You disagree strongly.
Yeah. So we do have a cameo, or not? I guess it's kind of, I guess it is like a cameo, but this movie is kind of held together by the glue of Willie Nelson to a degree, with Down in the Everglades, which he performs, but was written by someone else, Toch Brown, it says. But like he plays like an outdoorsman, fisherman kind of character, and then he like shows up at the end of the film to like rescue them.
Saves the day.
Which, that was another weird thing where it was like, I thought it was going to be like a dream or something, but it was like, he was actually there. It was kind of like when in Half Baked, where like frickin' what's his name shows up and actually saves him or whatever.
I haven't seen that in so long.
I can't remember the guy from Grateful Dead.
Oh, Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
Nice.
He like comes out of like a fucking bong or something. I can't remember. It's been so long, but I just remember he shows up and actually saves him. I'm like, huh? But I thought it was gonna be like that, where it was just like, and it was just kind of like, okay, well, mysticism exists in this universe.
Yeah. It's a magical film.
It's magical. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, what
Time
else?
for some more trivia.
Yeah, what else do you have to say?
Check this out.
Kill me.
Danny Glover's character Gus says Joe's name 188 times, and Joe Pesci's character Joe says Gus's name 227 times. That's insane, dude.
It's not shocking. It's like watching two like children. Like
they're giving it their all, but it's just like so incredibly stupid. I can't. It's like fascinating to me.
Yeah. So like, there's a part where like when they're driving down there, because their whole thing is like they take like a fishing trip each year or something, implied, I guess. And like this year they're going to Florida, the Everglades, and for some reason when they're driving down there, Danny Glover starts fucking reading off this book of like horrific like alligator facts or whatever about like they fucking will like chase, you know, get revenge, and like they'll come after you to the ends of the earth, and like
they torture them for their own
yeah
delight.
Joe Pesci's face is like actually he's like horrified, and I'm like
there's no way this isn't going to play into this later in the movie.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
They get attacked by an alligator. And
yeah,
they
but
use
no. They don't get attacked by an alligator. They beat the fuck out of it, and it runs away, and it never comes for revenge, so it doesn't play out at the end of the film. That's what I thought was going to...
alligator.
Yeah, bullshit. I thought that at the end of this film what was going to happen, or like somewhere along this film, they were going to piss off an alligator, and it was going to chase him through the film, and that never happens.
Don't you mean Mad Maggie?
Dude, fuck this film. I'm done! No.
That was hilarious.
That part was one of the 4 funny parts in this film for me. I could not believe what I was fucking seeing.
Yeah, that's...
Danny Glover fucking picks... Or he master locks this fucking alligator, and fucking Joe Pesci, like... Rocky Balboa's it, and then he kicks it in the stomach, and it fucking runs away.
He lifts it up, he's like, go on, kick it in the nuts.
He's like... Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and go over my funniest hits here. So my first one came at 57 minutes and 45 seconds after they got done eating dinner, and Danny Glover sleepwalks. And this is the most perplexing thing of any movie I've ever seen, though. He's sleepwalking, and the first thing one of the first things he does is he fucking lights a match and goes over and just lights a fucking pillow on fire. And I'm like, what the fuck was he thinking he was doing? Like, I didn't understand that. He just lit a fucking pillow on fire, and it was like horrifying. And then he's like talking on the phone, and then he like leaves.
He's got like this horrifying blank, like dead zombie
like, face.
I was like, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, it was It was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in a film. It was like horrifying, because his whole thing is like that's one thing that does pay off. Where like he's like, you know, you can't have red meat, I guess, because it like makes him sleepwalk. And they got to this restaurant.
He eats steak.
Yeah, he eats a steak, and fucking it's like, okay, he starts sleepwalking. Not only that, but like. It's like Joe knows this happens whenever he does this, but what is he doing? He's like sawing him off. He's like he didn't time to the bed, nothing. He's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
The other thing is at an hour and 4 minutes and 31 seconds when Joe is hit by lightning.
Yep, that was the funniest part of this movie to me, because like, not the fact that he got hit by lightning, but he drops like a sack of bricks and like he's smoking.
He like dies. So it's implied that like he's been hit 2 other times by lightning, and like lightning's starting to happen and shit, and he like runs away, and he's just like, it's okay, it's not gonna happen. And then of course he gets struck by lightning. But when he gets struck by lightning, it's like straight up Home Alone style. Yeah. It's like I think this is why this movie could have worked, because like Joe Pesci is hilarious in Home Alone with like the faces and reactions he does, and like some of that kind of comes through in this film. But like, yeah, that happened. Then I was shocked at an hour, 11 minutes, and 18 seconds when Danny and Joe beat the fuck up beat an alligator up. Yep. I was like, what? They make it run away. And then the last time I really laughed was 4 minutes later. 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 16 seconds when they're tied up and they're being fucking told, fuck you, we're gonna leave you here or whatever and all this stuff, and he's like, you're a piece, he's essentially, the bad guy is like, saying, I've got the jewels now, screw you and stuff, and
The jewels.
Joe Pesci is like pissed, and he's like getting ridiculously pissed at this point, and he spits, and it literally goes just down onto his lap.
Yeah.
I was
That was
cracking the fuck up.
You think that was just like a mistake that they left in the movie?
I don't know, honestly, but it was like it was pretty funny because it was just like it was so out of place for the rest of the film.
I had a few other laughs. There was a line where when they first meet the bad guy, and he's like, "Are you guys married?" And they're like, "Yeah." Children? No, they're our age. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
It's like he thought he was asking if they were married to children. He's like, "No, they're our age."
Okay.
Did you notice the cameo by Louise Fletcher? Kai Wynn
Yeah,
from DS9?
that was one of my only notes.
Yeah, she was like barely in this movie.
Yeah, she's in it just as the waitress or whatever for like a little bit in that diner, and then she's kind of gone.
Yeah. I like that their boat was named Jogus. That was funny. And then there was a really scary shot where like the stuntman barely like almost gets hit by a train. I was like, ah! It's horrifying.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the shit they did in Lethal Weapon, where they would like push people onto the tracks. Remember that? Like in that one, which one was that?
Yeah,
Lethal
so the
Weapon?
killer kept. I think it was 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah, it would push them onto the tracks, and they would just get killed by the train. I was like, holy shit.
But in the end,
the fucking like anchor magnetizes to the train somehow or something. Yeah. I was like, that. What?
Video game physics.
Yeah, I was like, this makes no sense.
Couple other last pieces of trivia here. The film's failure contributed to Joe Pesci announcing his retirement from acting.
What?
And he was not going to do Lethal Weapon 4, which was after
I was going to say, that lasted.
But they had to like drag him out of like retirement to do that movie.
Thank God.
I guess
this movie pretty much fucked him over.
Yeah. But this is going to piss you off. A stunt woman was killed making this movie.
What?
Yeah. Janet Wilder. I think it was the scene where like the boat ramped onto the ground during the boat chase.
Oh yeah, like after all that crap was over.
Yeah, I guess it accidentally like flipped over and killed her. So like the stupidest of movies like killed someone. It was pretty bad.
Wow, that reminds me of like the Outer Limits movie, right? Where that one dude.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone movie where that guy and the kid or whatever, those kids got fucking crushed by the helicopter. I know, it was sad.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, man. Holy
it is.
shit.
It really is.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so we're gonna end on a total downer because that sucks big time. Like,
wow,
no film should be worth someone's life.
Yeah, they had some Karate Kid one action going over here where Joe climbs over the stall and gets the bad guy wet.
Yeah,
he sees him cocking a gun, and all the like funny stuff is just the reactions by like Joe Pesci for the most part. He's like, a spittoon sound effect and a cat screaming in one go.
I noticed that.
The bad guy's name is Decker Massey. I was just like, I wonder if that's where Tim got his name from. I was like, who was that man?
This movie inspired so many.
Also, this movie takes a page from Ghostbusters 2, and the theme song for the film exists in the fucking movie because they sing it at one point.
Yeah, that's right.
I went, wait a minute. Which I'm not against that. I think it's cool. So they're buying a boat, or they're getting suckered into buying a boat, and a dude shows a nudie photo, but it's a clothed bikini woman. I went, what? A nudie fucking... He's like, how about this nudie photo? What do you think about that? And they are like, whoa. And also, that's a running thing that happens. These dudes are married, and I don't think they're like, over here looking to cheat on their wives, but it's just like... These two like younger, of course, one of them's white, one of them's white, one of them's black, of course. But like, they're younger, and yeah, they're acting like total freaking like middle schoolers.
It was funny when they do like, what is it, a cool face or
the cool face, and they look, they're like freaking Straight out of Mice and Men over here.
The girls are instantly like super
fuck?
creeped out.
Like they just picked up fucking Ed Gacy or something. You're gonna see. Yeah, there's a part where like, they're worried about getting like sexually assaulted, like in Deliverance, and they even play like the fucking banjo, and I'm like, Jesus. Also, just like in Swiss, like the Beverly Hills Family Robinson film, the bad guy at the end of the film, they show some like really bad, like, I don't know if it's green screen or like post screen, where he like falls to his like, not death, but he falls comically off of a plane like they did in like The Explosion, where they're like falling to the camera, and I'm like, okay, like I can totally tell this is not like the highest quality effect here.
No.
Yeah, and like you said, at the end of the film, they a gator is like looking at their ass, and for some reason where are they at? They're like, where do they live? It's like, and there's like a gator, and they live in like maybe like New Jersey or something, and I'm like, what? And like, like, did you say? I think you said at the beginning where at the film or the beginning of the podcast where you were talking about like how he's just like, when I see water, I gotta get in or something, or what is it?
When I see the sea, I swim.
Yeah, it's like, what? Makes sense.
I thought my last note was the last chase was like pretty darn good, like the fan boat chase. That was a good
that was
scene.
Actually shockingly
pretty thrilling. Like
competent.
That has to be one of the best like fan boat chases ever in this dumb movie.
Because it's the only one.
It could be.
Let's see. Yeah. So I'm trying to think, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like that was surprisingly like well done.
Yeah.
Like especially like for the rest of the film, I was just like, what the hell? They must have like put all their shit in this thing right here, because it was actually kind of reminding me of something like out of Lethal Weapon, except for the parts where it was like
it was that level
super
of quality.
Goofy. But like,
and most of the time you can totally tell it's stuntmen, but like at the beginning
there are parts where there's shots where like Danny's driving.
Yeah, you can see, and when they were sitting in like the dinghy,
it
was really them for a couple shots.
Dude, speaking of that like boat chase where like that lady got killed, freaking that part where they're like Joe Pesci's hanging off the side and it's totally a stuntman. I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is totally a stuntman with like a fake stomach.
Yeah,
which is funny because like it almost makes it look like he's fatter than Joe Pesci, so that's why I was kind of thrown off, because I was like, Joe Pesci's not like fat as hell, but like in that scene it looked like he had like a huge stomach, and I was like, what?
Like they put on someone's pregnancy belly.
Yeah. But he was like kind of too jacked to be Joe Pesci. I was like, wait a minute. But yeah.
So that's Gone Fishing.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah. I think really my last thing just to encompass it was like, it had some pacing issues for me. Sacrifices a little bit of the movie for like random gags and stuff. Not all of them land, but overall it wasn't like, what was it, the last movie we saw where I was just like straight up like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think my affection for Danny Glover and Joe Pesci like really elevates this movie for me. Like I just enjoy watching them, even if it's in something so stupid.
I think the first bit of it was kind of too slow for my liking. It's like nothing really happens for a bit. It's like, but Gloria's loving it.
All right, so what's your score for Gone Fishing?
I don't know. Probably like Jesus. She's wanting attention.
That's for sure. It's like, good lord.
Get her!
Speaking of bored, Gloria is very bored.
She's like, that was a great pick there, man. What did she think of it? Was she watching while you watched?
I'm sure she was sleeping.
Probably like a 6 or like a 7. It was okay.
Nice. Yeah,
I think if like, I think if I had as many laughs as I did like the last like half hour or so, it would have been like a lot higher. But look at her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7.95, and this is one of those like, it's so shockingly dumb. Like, I would almost recommend everyone see it just to like to see these guys slumming it so hard. Like, Joe Pesci's been nominated for 3 Oscars, and he's doing Gone Fishing.
I would.
He's a great actor. So is Danny Glover.
I would.
Like, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I would tell people to like maybe watch like the last 30 minutes of the film, but that's about it. Maybe, I don't know. And not that I want my time back. I wasn't like this. It wasn't like Family Robinson where I was just like, Jesus.
This is one. Maybe I picked it because
me.
This is a movie that we totally would have rented back in the day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm shocked that we didn't until now.
Yeah, I this was one actually. I think we had talked about this like off camera, but like I actually at one point like was totally thinking about picking this, but I was other stuff got in the way just because I was interested in watching it, but I was just like I was about to pick it, and then I would look online, it would be like the ratings for it were so shit. I was like, damn dude, is this like a fucking just boring movie or what, or like, you know what I mean? So, and it wasn't, I don't think it's as bad as people say, that's for sure, like online as far as certain reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it
but
depends on what you want out of a movie,
I think that like it's just, for being like a wacky comedy, it's kind of like bland and boring to a degree. Not like to the point of like, Mooseport, but there are parts where I'm like Danny, like you said, like Danny Glover and like Joe Pesci are like so much better than this. And it's like, man, if they just like switched this to an action film, this might have been like better.
Yeah, I was not bored at all. Like, I was highly entertained throughout, but I can't say that it's good. Like,
I think it's probably because the villain is like, he's like, the plot of this film is just like,
who cares?
Yeah, which is kind of shit. Mainly because it's like, the villain was like, It's weird because there's a side plot, I guess we didn't really talk about it, but like, of like the 2 women that kind of keep showing up. Mm-hmm. That are trying to get revenge because the main guy like ripped off like the mother of one of them or killed her or something, and that keeps coming up, but like
goes nowhere.
Well, it's weird because it's like a lot of things in this film, like I think it's gonna go somewhere, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of happens. Like I thought that it was going to be like one of those things where they joined him and helped him or something. But like they're being taken somewhere by them, and then like they all kind of like separate again for like they're out of the film for like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, it was also Rosanna Arquette, which she's great, but like again, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's not only that, but like not even speaking of them, but the wives are like legends in their own right, and they're literally on screen for like 10 minutes, maybe.
Oh, less than that. Probably like 5.
Maybe it felt like 10 minutes.
It was one scene.
Oh, like, kill me. This had a lot. It's funny. This had Lethal Weapon vibes to it for sure at the beginning, with like all the kids kind of hanging out and stuff, and the family, and it was very like Lethal Weapon at those parts with like the family and stuff hanging out, and but like. The one, like, Joe Pesci's wife was, like, from, like, Scrooge.
Carol Kane.
And, like, a bunch of stuff. Well, probably better known for being in Princess Bride, but... I'm, like, from the hit movie Scrooge.
I just watched Scrooge. I think I told you about that, but, like, she's really annoying in that movie.
I think that's kind of, like, her characters can be like that, but that's fine.
That's kind of...
At least she can act, unlike Dyan Cannon.
Oh...
She didn't like that. But yeah, I liked, like, I was glad to watch both of these, like, just to, kind of experience them. Like, I would have never known one way or the other about Gone Fishing, but it's funny because I'd never even heard of the Family Robinson.
No one has. No one should.
I don't even know. Did you ever say how you found this one, or?
It's on Internet Archive, which is a great site that has tons of like
But I mean, like, how did you even not find it? But like, how did you even like?
I'm not.
Were you just going through Dyan Cannon's like IMDb? Jesus.
I don't know. I honestly can't remember.
You're a secret Dyan Cannon fan, aren't you?
I really enjoyed Christmas in Connecticut. Not so much this one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
See our previous episode.
Yeah. But yeah, Jesus, she's giving me like the 100-yard stare. Gloria, what did she think? How many paws did she give this film, Matt? Since you're her like owner.
She gives it 4 paws and a gator's tail.
Out of what?
Out of 4. She loved it.
Jesus. That makes sense. She is like an animal fan. She's like
Animal Week.
She's like, I love animals of all persuasions. She's like, animals all got big dicks. It's like, Jesus. Yeah.
So what's up next?
I guess we're done with this episode already. Okay. So next week,
so much groaning over here.
It's me. I'm like, oh. Are you scared though? Because it's a groan. Jesus, she's like.
No, only a moan. She's like about to strike. She's like, if you don't play with me in 5 seconds, you're dead meat.
So Gloria, listen up, because this is what's going to be next week for the podcast. Are you ready? So, I'm a big fan of this series, and we saw this in theaters together because you're a true friend, Matt. You were the only one that went and saw it with me. We're going to revisit Speed Racer, the live-action film.
Oh, nice.
Done by the Wachowskis. And we're going to watch Speed Racer, the movie, which is essentially like they took a couple episodes and kind of like Shogun assassined them.
Nice.
So, and I haven't watched that in a while, but I mainly want to do this because I remember really liking the film, but like I kind of want to go back and be like, did this hold up or is this not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Am I kind of like, I don't know. I'll probably end up liking it still, but I haven't seen it in so many years. It's like,
yeah,
I remember it having a pretty distinct style to it.
Oh yeah,
which
for
was
sure.
Good. But yeah,
that's a good pick. It'll be interesting because I remember not really liking it. So
yeah,
maybe I'll.
Well, I mean,
reevaluate.
you went to see a movie that I'm sure you were like, really knowing anything about it, and we're kind of just like, I'm just watching this as like a friend, like when I would take you to go see.
I would have probably seen it anyways.
The Dragon Ball
Wachowskis,
films.
I'd see anything.
Yeah,
they do.
Oh man, nice. Even the Matrix films, love it.
But my memory is like, after we saw it, my comment was the part where Chim Chim was on the steering wheel was the only thing I liked.
The credits were fucking awesome, but it's been so long that
I
guess we'll see if the rest holds up. I do specifically remember around that time they had ringback tones on phones, and that was one of my. I think that was my ringback tone was "Go Speed Racer"
Nice.
or whatever, and everybody was just like, "Dude, can you fucking turn that off?" It's like you got to get through Speed to get the movie.
Speed Week.
Speed Week. Yeah, Speed Racer, which I remember really liking the casting for this film because it had like Christina Ricci as Trixie and what's his face, the guy that plays Dan, and
John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman as Pops, and I think Susan Sarandon was in it as the mom too, but I can't remember. I could be wrong. But yeah, next week we will speed in, and hopefully it will be a 9.95 checker flag.
We'll see.
If not, beat my ass. Jesus.
Why is she sitting there?
She's
You think you're a person?
She is a person. Next week we'll dress her up as Chim Chim. We'll put a little beanie on her.
Go! Could you be an ape?
She could be a little spritle.
Alright.
Sweet. So yeah.
Another great episode.
I know, another great episode in the books. I can't wait to smoke my cigar at the end of this film. Oh wait, we already did it at the beginning.
Alright. Until next time.
Bye. I'm like, do you know Speed? Do you know?
Do you know?
That podcast was a 9. 9 plus. Borderline 9.95. All right. Man, I told you not to be smoking those. Action! Ah!
Action! It's necessary every time.
Ah! Okay.
So I'll start. I'll be like, that podcast was a 9, and you're like 9 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll both be like, borderline 9.95. And we do the yeah.
Oh.
Be careful, it's an actual huge torch.
Whoa.
And then you light up.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for this, Gloria?
That podcast was a 9.
I got stressed.
Now the place smells like fucking burnt fucking shit.
It smells like bird shit.
Gloria's like,
She's like, you got the right one, baby.
yeah. Man, I told you not to be smoking those.
9.95. Emotion is feeling so high. 9.95. In overdrive. Put your body in overdrive. 9.95.